What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the Hot Corner Baseball Podcast YouTube channel, where I just try to bring the fun back in baseball. I used to love playing baseball. I grew up, that was like the main sport I played. All my friends played it. It was just a big part of my childhood, essentially. Then I went to college. I didn't really have time to pay attention to baseball as I would like. So then, like, my senior year, junior year, when things started to slow down in my college life, I got back into baseball. And now I'm really back into baseball. So yeah, I just do this because it's fun. That's really what this is. It's just a hobby and bring together people who like baseball, because none of my friends watch baseball for real. Even the ones who play, they don't really care for it anymore. So this is just my way of just having a community of people who want to play baseball. So if you're interested in that, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. So if you cannot tell by the thumbnail or title of this video, I just want to talk about the Angels pitching and how it's just not good. I know that they brought in Tyler Anderson, but he hasn't been all of that this year. He's allowing a lot of home runs. And then what's crazy about it is when the Angels brought in Tyler Anderson, they brought him in for 3 years, $39 million, which is so-so. It's okay. But his ERA, I feel like a lot of that was based on his ERA last year and how well he pitched last year with the Dodgers. I think he had like a 2.5 ERA or something like that. But before that, all the teams he played for, which was like the Rockies, the Pirates, the Mariners, and I feel like there's one other team I may be forgetting, but his ERA was above 4. And I know, as further we get into the future, it seems the ERAs are getting higher and higher, but above 4 is, when you're a team like the Angels and you want to be good and you have Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout, having a guy like Tyler Anderson with a usual above 4 ERA is not the move you really necessarily want to make. You make this deal hoping that he would be the pitcher that he was last year, but so far it has not been the case. But it's still very early in the season. Well, we're like 10 games in, if that. So I'm not really harping on it, but it is something to monitor, because the Angels have already allowed 11 runs twice. Now, both of them obviously weren't Tyler Anderson, but still, allowing 11 plus runs twice is pretty crazy. They lost 11-2 to the Mariners, I think last week, or was that earlier this week? And then they lost today 12-11 to the Blue Jays. So, like I said, it's not all Tyler Anderson. I mean, you have to look at the other guys. The bullpen is really where the concern is. So, like, you have Aaron Lupo. I know he's only pitched, what is that? I always forget what it's called. 2/3. Yeah, he hasn't pitched the full inning, so he pitched 2/3 innings with already allowed 2 runs. Jamie Barria has a 7.71 ERA, 5 hits, 4 earned runs in 4 innings, 4 2/3. And then Jimmy Herget, who he didn't start well. He's pitching a little better now, but when the season started, he allowed 3 runs in his first 2 appearances. So these are things you got to think about with the Angels. But the reason this is a concern is because the Angels are a team that I personally would like to see make the playoffs. You have Mike Trout, you have Shohei Ohtani, 2 of the most exciting players in baseball. So of course you would want them in the playoffs. But right now it's just, they're good. They're not as good as you would want them to be, if that makes any sense. So they're 5-4, which that's typical for them, around that 500 mark. But it's just like, you really just want them to be so much better, and other guys going to have to step up to the plate, literally, and just help. I mean, it's not exactly the Shohei and Mike Trout show, but I mean, it kind of is. So, for example, I mean, like in the first game, they lost to the Athletics 2-1. Granted, pitching was okay there. Then they won 13-1. Then they won 6-0. Win the series, right? Then they go 7-3 on the Mariners. Then they lose 11-2 to the Mariners. Then they win 4-3. And then they lose 4-3 to the Blue Jays. And then they win 9-5 against the Blue Jays. But then today, like I said, they lose 12-11. So there's a lot of high scoring games in there. The pitching is okay, but like I said, it's really just the bullpen that you're concerned with. And considering that Mike Trout and Shohei are obviously the leaders of this team, and sometimes everybody else in the lineup seems to struggle or just not as consistent, you need a bullpen that can get you to Shohei and Mike batting again. You know what I mean? So that is kind of where I feel like the issue lies, is that they really just struggle holding over. If everyone's not hitting, it's difficult for the bullpen to then pitch a game where they're holding on for an inning or two until Mike Trout and Shohei are back. You know, they're up on that circle. And I'm not an Angels fan, and I watched the game today, and I think I watched one of the games against the Athletics. So Angels fans, please let me know if I'm wrong. But if you really want to make the playoffs, which I'm assuming that making the playoffs, even though they haven't done it in a while, making the playoffs should not feel good if I'm an Angels fan, because of the fact that I have two probably of the top 5, top 3 players in the league, players in the world maybe, and we're not getting anywhere. And baseball to me is like one of the ultimate team sports. It really is. So you can have two of these guys, and I mean this team they're proof of that. However, they're just going to need help, and I think the bats will come alive. I'm just concerned about the bullpen and keeping leads, bullpen and just holding the other team off until your stars are back up to bat. That is my concern. I think Tyler Anderson can turn it around. I don't think he's going to be above 4 all season. I think he can probably get a lower, probably like mid 3s, which is okay. I'm taking that if I'm the Angels. You have guys that are injured who can come back. The bullpen isn't terrible. You have Andrew Wantz. You have Carlos Estevez. You have guys in here. It's just overall, I think you want a more solidified bullpen, a more reliable go-to guys, and I just don't see that right now. So my concern is just how long can you play this game until it eventually just wears out? I mean, you have to make a move is kind of my point. There has to be a move to where you can get a couple of relievers who you can rely on. Every team has some relievers that, okay, this is the go-to. I don't think the Angels really have that. They have some good guys, like I said, but they don't really have guys they can really go to when the tough gets going. And I mean, I don't expect Jimmy Herget to pitch bad all season. But still, it's just they need to solidify this bullpen if they want to have any chance of not only making the playoffs, but really, I wouldn't say make a name for themselves, but really have an impact on the playoffs. I just don't think this is good enough right now. But Angels fans, let me know what you think down in the comment section below. I would like to say I'm a baseball casual. Or I'm just a guy who just enjoys baseball and just here to talk about it because, like I said, none of my friends really watch baseball like that. So just let me know if I'm wrong about anything or if you see something differently. I'm open to have the conversation. That's the whole point. I'm not here to bash any team or anything like that. I'm here to just converse about baseball. So anyway, that does it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.